Hi guys.
Welcome to The Other Dimension with the team Damon Penny, Ben Winfield, and Louisa Brown. We guide you through the supernatural, the occult, and the unexplained, answering questions that will make you question your grip of reality, with special guests guiding you through everything from demons to divination, cryptids to crystals, religion to skeptics. We explore in depth the true meaning of the unexplained. So strap in, kick back, and enjoy as we enter the other dimension.
Hi. Here we are. Midweek, midday. Well, halfway through the afternoon, aren't we, really? Yeah. And it's going to be a bit of a one-off special. We're going to be doing some Halloween cake pops. So I understand that a lot of people will still be at work at the moment because I know Ben is. And yeah, it's kind of like an awkward time, but it's best time for me and everyone else can just watch back. So it's going to be a two-parter anyway, because we've got the initial sort of making of the cake pops, but then they've got to set for 2 hours so we can go on to the second part of them. So there's going to be a little bit of a break in between, and then we'll continue after that. So welcome to the kitchen. Oh dear. Right. It should have, I've not got my ticker going across the bottom. Oh, I've got it set up for that. I'll try and sort it out for next time. Yeah, got my recipe, got it printed out. It is from BBC Good Food for their Halloween cake pops with the eyeballs there. Right, let's have a drink and then we shall begin. Do you like it? Good. Right, so what we're going to do, it says method step 1, break the Madeira cake and cookies into a bowl of a food processor, pour in the melted chocolate and whiz to combine. Right, first thing, I don't have a food processor. I've got one of those handheld blenders, but not a food processor. So we're going to be doing it another way. Okay, so kind of cheated a bit. Well, not so much cheating because the recipe doesn't tell me that I have to make my own Madeira cake. So I have some bought Madeira cake, which works out fine. So we need 100 grams or 4 ounces of Madeira cake. Not quite two. So got a piece left over. So that'll be just back in later. I've got those. So right, my sides are all clean. Obviously disinfected everything first. Biscuits, how many biscuits? It says it wants 100 grams of chocolate sandwich cookies. Bourbons. So we need 100 grams of bourbons. Is everyone getting prepared for Halloween anyway? Halloween. Everyone's got different things happening. Not really. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so like it says, it wants to put them into a food processor and whiz it all up. Oh, I'm not doing that because I haven't got a food processor. So what I've done is just tip them into a bowl and I'm just going to bash them now. What I can do. Does it quite well actually, so that's not going to take too long. It also talks about melted milk chocolate. So just pop the kettle on. what I'm going to do is you can melt it in the microwave, but I find that because of the sugar content in milk chocolate, it can kind of burn quite easily and it can crystallize, it can just overdo really easily. So the best thing to do, I find, is do it the old-fashioned way. Then do the bain-marie with saucepan and bowl. So how much chocolate do we need? We need 100 grams. Actually, 200-gram bar. So that means we give it some more sugar. Sorry, you're going to hear the kettle really loud soon because it's just right there. Let me just pop these bits over here. That way. I've got a 7-year cake as well. Yeah, so we've got a special coming up, a Halloween special. I think it's this Friday. So me, Ben, Damon, and Scarlet Witch talking about all things Halloween, sign, yeah, about what we do, where the origins come from. I'm just bashing my biscuits. Trying not to hit them too hard because you don't want them to go everywhere. They're doing quite well, getting there. I was thinking, I've not spoken about this to like the other guys yet. I was thinking, what I could do is obviously there's loads of different sort of Sabbath celebrations that happen throughout the year. So maybe we could do like each time there is like the arrival of one, we can do a special on the show on that. I thought that'd be quite a nice idea. I'm sure the guys will go for it. So we do have a lot of followers who do follow like pagan and Wiccan traditions. So if we touch on them and how like different branches of paganism sort of celebrate them, I thought that'd be quite interesting actually. I don't know about you. These are coming quite nice now. Actually, that's worked out a lot better. I know I said I've done this before. It's possibly about 8 years ago. And so I can't remember actually making them. I just remember that they turned out okay. But actually just hitting them like this, it's worked quite well. They've gone quite fine. We've got a few chunky bits in there. So we can get rid of them if I keep going. Kettle's still coming to the boil. Oh, yeah, that's top, by the way. New one from Pentagraphics. I do need to order some hoodies from them as well because it's that time of year. Hey, Nico. Hi, what a surprise. I didn't know the live was going to be this early. Yeah, well, it's going to be a two-parter. Starting, it's 3 o'clock our time over here. Where are you? You're 11 a.m. here in Argentina, so good morning. Yeah, so yeah, 3 o'clock over here. Just making a start because I don't want to like be doing this whilst also trying to like do all evening stuff. Like mainly cooking tea for the family. So I thought if I do it this time, get it sort of part done, then I've got to wait for them to set before I can then like go on to the next stage, which is the icing and the decoration. Right, I'm quite happy with that. Let me get this going for melting the chocolate. the important thing to remember when melting chocolate like this is that your bowl shouldn't actually touch the water. Because again, a similar thing will happen as to if you put it in the microwave to melt the chocolate, can just do it too fast and it'll turn it. So we just have it sort of over the water, not touching it, and it's the steam that will evaporate from the water that will melt the chocolate. So next, I'll get my Madeira cake slices, and I'm just going to crumble them in while the chocolate starts to melt. It's better if your Madeira cake is a little bit on the stale side, so slightly dry, because that makes for it crumbling better rather than it turning more to mush. I was expecting, with it being shop bought Madeira cake, I was expecting it to be a bit drier, but actually quite surprised about how moist it is. I think a lot of people don't like that word, moist. But it's crumbling. It's crumbling not too bad, and it's actually a pretty decent cake, really. See, you don't need a food processor. It's fine. Something that made me laugh, because I do my shopping online, order it and get it delivered. Now, the decoration, it says on the instructions to get, what did it say? Icing pens for the decoration. So with it being eyeballs, it suggests you have like black for the pupil of the eye, and then red for like veins. But then I ordered it and I had a substitution on my delivery because it's sold out. So clearly everyone had the same idea. So they sent me pastel colours. So I thought I could run around to other shops and have a look, see if I can find somewhere that actually has them in stock. But then I thought, no, we'll do it sort of real, like everyone. Can't always have exactly the right things, but we'll just make do with what we've got and it'll be fine. Okay, Nika asks, what am I cooking? So I'm doing a bit forward, Halloween cake pops, Halloween eyeball cake pops. Just a little bit of fun, bit of randomness. My daughter came up with the idea. She said, Mom, why don't you do some Halloween baking live on the show? Typical that she's upstairs now. She doesn't come down to help me. She's left me to it. She comes up with the idea and then leaves me to do the execution. It's fine. You never know, she might even be upstairs watching, or she might just be playing on the games console. Right, the chocolate is starting to melt quite well now. So I'll just take a couple more minutes, and my cake crumbs and biscuit crumbs looking quite good. Yeah, there's some that's a little bit chunky. It would be smoother in the food processor. I'm not that fussed. It's fine. If I just, because I'm just doing is just feeling it with my fingers, sort of, and then if I get any bits of biscuit that's not quite as small as the rest, not quite as fine, I'll just crush it in my fingers. So that doesn't feel too bad. Chocolate's nearly melted. Right, use oven glove because that's going to be really hot. move my scales out of the way. Too bad now. So, what does it say? Pour in the melted chocolate, whiz to combine. Not whizzing. Yeah. Yeah, I can pick that up now. So, doesn't look like a lot of chocolate, but I suppose I don't want it to be a very runny sort of cakey mixture, because it needs to all, as it's combined together to actually make the eyeballs. Try to scrape out as much chocolate as we can. This chocolate is good. See, what other paranormal shows do you get where they do a baking tutorial? I say tutorial very loosely. I'm just trying to follow a recipe. Maybe we should do more. Who knows? See how it goes. Right. I think that's about all chocolate I'm going to get out of that. Let's get a knife and scrape that off this spoon. Don't want to waste the chocolate. Precious chocolate. What I might do is I'm going to use a knife to combine rather than a spoon. Because the mixture, with it being all fine, and then they've got the chocolate, it's just going to, again, stick close to the spoon. But if I use a knife, sort of cut it round and combine it that way, it's going to work a little bit better. Now I'm going to get my hands in and create the actual eyeballs. Right, it says, yeah, you want about 10 walnut-sized balls. Chill for 2 hours until really firm. So I'm going to do this. Get some a baking sheet. Put it on something. What shall we use? Right. Just gonna get my roasting dish out. It's just easy. Natural. I have a baking jar and everything just gets cooked in it, and I can't actually close it. And line this. I'm using a roasting dish. You can use a baking tray. I don't really have any standard baking trays. I tend to just use the roasting dish, or if I need something else, then I've got a different mesh thing that I use. Right, so as we were, so I'm going to get all over my fingers. Let's try and squish it together a bit now. Right, I want about 10 walnut-sized balls. I use a bit of force to kind of squish it together because it's quite crumbly. Right, it smells nice though. It smells really nice. Try and be really firm. This is why you need to leave them to set quite a while until they are solid, because you don't want them to fall apart because of all the cake and the biscuit in them. They are naturally getting quite crumbly. But the chocolate will set it. Just really try and make it into kind of a round shape. Round-ish. It's round-ish. Doesn't have to be perfect. So it's wanting to break apart there a bit. That did one. Hopefully the heat from my hands will keep it all kind of together while I'm shaping. Let's do. So what have we got to do after? So after we've left it in the fridge for a couple of hours, it says until really firm. It's like, yeah, you do need it to be really firm, because we're going to put, when we put the skewers in, the cake pops, stalks, sticks, whatever. Yeah, you don't want them to all just fall apart. If that happens, I will cry. So after that, what we'll be doing on the second part is let's just skewer it into each ball, carefully spoon the white chocolate over the cake balls. So for that we have got 200 grams of melted white chocolate that we're going to dip them in, and that'll give us the whiteness for the eyeball. Stand the cake pops in the pumpkin. I've got a little pumpkin. Stand them in. You don't have to, but I did buy it. They're only going cheap at the moment anyway, because they're in season. Just a little pumpkin. To stand them in. Then press a chocolate bean, that's Smarties to you and me, onto each one before the white chocolate sets, and then chill again until the chocolate is set. Now it shouldn't take too long for the white chocolate to chill, I would have thought, because it's only a thin layer. It's not exactly the middle of summer, so the white chocolate should actually chill while we're doing it alive. And then using icing pens, add a pupil to each chocolate bean and wiggly veins to the eyeballs. Simple, hopefully. How many have I got? I've got 7 done so far. Really hope these stick together. And then if they do disintegrate and explode or something when I put the cake pop sticks in, then what we'll do is we'll just ignore that step. And they won't be on stalks, and they'll just be eyeballs rolling around the plate, which will be fine anyway. How many did it say it would make then? About 10. 10 walnut-sized ones. Well, doesn't it say if the walnut size, are the walnuts still within the nut, like the shell, or the walnuts out the nut? I don't mind about that size. And I've made 9 so far. Might be able to make 11 out of them, judging by what I've got left in here. I think I might have just sprinkled some chocolate around. It's fine. It's all fine. See, it's kind of like gone quite fine at the end. So we'll see if we can get it to stick together. Just hard to try and pick it up in the first place. I'll try and make an extra one. See, part of me thinks if I added either a bit more chocolate or a bit of butter, then that would just make it a little bit more wet to combine. It does feel very dry. But we'll go with the recipe. We'll see how it goes. Like I said, I did it before. It turned out fine, as far as I can remember. It's just a case of working it a bit. Okay, that one's gone a little bit smaller. All the bits dropped off, and I'm not bothering about the tiny little bits in the bottom. Right, so just go wash my hands a second, because now I'm covered in sort of cakey, chocolatey goodness. the last thing I want to do is to actually get my phone covered in that mess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in the fridge, and then I'm going to come back in maybe 2 hours time, like it said, maybe an hour and a half. We'll see. I'll see how they feel, and then we'll go on to the second stage, which will be melting the white chocolate, coating them in that, and then doing some decorating as well. So thank you for watching, and feel free to ask any questions, by the way, on the next one as well, so don't mind. Or if you're watching this on repeat, that's fine as well. Just say hi. Don't know why I'm just holding this now, my rolling pin. Put that down. Okay, right, so thank you for joining me, and I shall see you in a couple of hours. Bye.